The information provided in this video tutorial on filling out the DS160 form is intended for general guidance purpose only. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, visa requirements can vary according to individual circumstance. So viewers are advised to consult official sources or seek professional advice to ensure compliance with current regulations and to address specific concerns related to the visa application process. First, go to the website ceac.state.gov. Now, after you go to the website, click on DS160 form for non-immigrant visa application and start your application. Now, select the location from where you will be applying for your visa. In my case, I will be applying from Kathmandu, so I will select the location as Kathmandu, Nepal. And also enter the code and click on Start an Application. Read everything carefully and click in I agree. Now you have to select a security question and answer it. This security question and answer should be remembered along with your application ID in order to retrieve the details later. So it's better to click a screenshot or note down the application ID. Now, we first start with personal information. Fill in your surname, your first name, since the full name in native alphabet does not apply in my case, I've selected does not apply option. Click yes if you've used other names and no if you haven't. Click yes if you have a telecode that represents your name and no if you don't. Select your sexual and marital status. Now, fill in the details of your date and place of birth. You'll have to write down your date of birth, the city that you were born in, the state and province, and the country. Select the country that you were born in. Now we move on to the next segment of our application. Now select the country of your origin, that is your nationality. The next question is select yes if you have nationality other than the one that you've indicated above and no if you don't. Answer if you are a permanent resident of country other than that of the country of your origin. Also fill in the details of national identification number, US social security number and taxpayer number if you have one. In my case, I don't, so I've selected doesn't apply. Well, while I was filling the form, the server went down, so I had to retrieve my form by using the application ID, the security question answered, and by filling the details of my last name and date of birth. So if something like this happens to you as well, you can first go to the website, select the location from where you'll be applying for your visa, enter the code, and you can enter the application ID that you had saved previously. And after you enter your application ID, click on Retrieve Application and enter down your last name, date of birth, and the answer of your security question, and you're good to go. Now, next is travel information. Select the purpose of your visit. Also specify if you're on J1 or dependent of J1. If you've made plans of your visit, fill the details accordingly. Whatever I've filled is just an example. So if you've already booked your flight, you can also write your arrival flight, your arrival city, Also, fill the details of the place you plan to visit in the US. You can click Add Another to provide more locations. The next thing is the address where you will stay in the US. Fill the details of the address you'll be staying in US. Next question is who will be paying for your trip? Select employer in the US if your employer is paying for your trip, or if your parent is paying for your trip, you can select other person and write the name of your father or mother who will be paying for your trip. If you yourself you're able to pay for your trip, you can select self and fill in the details accordingly. Now, the next part is about the travel companion information. If there's any other person traveling with you, select yes and select no if you're traveling alone. You have few more questions to answer, whether you've been in the US, you've been issued a US visa, or you've been refused a US visa before, and if anyone else has filed an immigration petition on your behalf. Now, next part is your address and phone number. Enter the details of your home address, your street address, your city, state, province, zip code, and the country. If your mailing address is same as your home address, select yes. And if your mailing address is different than your home address, select no and fill in the details accordingly. You'll also have to enter your phone number, your work phone number. If you've used any other phone number in the last 5 years, please fill in those details as well. Fill your email address, and if you have used any other email address in the last 5 years, give that detail as well. The next part is about the social media platform that you use. Fill the information of the social media that you use and the name registered as your account in the social media. Next is your passport information. Select your passport type, whether it is regular or government. Fill in the details of your passport number. If you have a passport book number, write that as well. The country that issued your passport and where it was issued. The city, state, province, and the country. Your issuance date of your passport as well as expiry date. The next question is, have you ever lost your passport or had it stolen? Answer accordingly and then click next. Next is US point of contact information. You'll either have to give the name of the person or organization. In my case, I will be filling in the details of the organization that I will be working for. The relationship will be employer, and fill in the details of the address and phone number. Fill the email address as well. And after you're done, click next. Next is family information. Fill the details of your parents, their full name and date of birth, and whether they're currently in the United States or not. Answer if you have your immediate relatives or any other relatives in the US. Immediate relatives refer to your siblings, your spouse, your children, or your fiance. Next is regarding your work. If you are currently employed, fill those details. Write the address of your workplace, the phone number, the date you joined, and the monthly income in local currency. Also, briefly describe your duties. Whatever I've filled is just an example. Please ensure that you fill correctly. Next is regarding your previous work, education, or training information. If this isn't your first job, you'll also have to fill the details of your previous work. Next is regarding your education. Fill in the details of the university you studied, address, date of attendance from, and the last date. You have to fill the details of the languages you speak. By clicking on Add, you can add as many languages that you are able to speak. Now we have few yes or no questions. If you've traveled to any other countries within the last 5 years, click yes and also mention the name of those countries. Also answer if you belong to or contribute to or work for any professional, social, or charitable organization. If you have any skills or trainings in firearms, explosives, biological or chemical experience, if you've ever served in the military, if you've ever served or been part of a paramilitary unit, rebel group, or insurgent organization. Select yes or no accordingly. If you have a communicable disease of public health significance, if you have a mental or physical health disorder, or if you are a drug abuser or not. Now you have to fill the details of two persons who are able to verify the information that you have filled in this application. If you're currently employed, it is best to fill the details of your manager or chief or head of department. Please note that the information provided in this video tutorial is just for general guidance purpose. If you face any problem or difficulty while filling in this application, consult official sources. The creators cannot be held liable for any inaccuracies, omissions, or consequences resulting from the use of information presented. After you're done, click Next. Now, you have to fill your service ID and program number, which is available in your DS 2019 form. The last question is, do you intend to study in US? If you are a resident who is going to United States to complete your residency training program, click yes and fill in the details accordingly. And finally, upload your photo. After you're done, please review whatever you've filled in and make sure that all the details are correct. Finally, you can submit your DS160 form and pay the fees. Thank you.